Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and it's time for a little Rails and Pipes pack here on the FDAOG server. And it's been a while since I've been on here or doing really any Minecraft. And part of that is because I've been very busy with family. About 5 weeks ago, our kitty cat Roxy, who starred in many an episode, got out and escaped, and we have no idea where she is at this point. And we've done pretty much everything we can to find her, canvass the neighborhood. Everybody within several blocks of us are canvassed with information about Roxy, so if anybody sees her, then hopefully we can go grab her wherever that happens to be. But at this point, there's nothing more I can do. And so I'm not spending my nights going out, knocking door to door, handing out leaflets and doing stuff like that. So I figured I'd better get back into Minecraft and, talk with the people here. Anyway, yeah, we miss her, and we hope to have her back sometime really soon. But until then, one of the things I wanted to do was upgrade these two, because my furnace and my pulverizer I use a lot. And so I wanted to go ahead and upgrade them with the Resonant Upgrade Kit. And to do this, plus the Signalium with the one before, needs some work, like the Enderium ingot here. Oops, no, here, let's, there we go. To make this, you take blend plus, some sand in the induction smelter, which I've got in between, and that's resonant ender with pulverized platinum and lead. Well, the resonant ender you need from this with is a magma crucible, and I could use a bunch of ender pearls. I need to use 4, or I've got some of this resonant end stone from the end. I purposely grabbed it so I could do this, because that one of those does an entire bucket for me, and that does everything I need, which is fantastic. The other thing I need is to make the energized glowstone, and for that, again, it's the magma crucible, and I've got glowstone. I thought I had some of this energized netherrack, which you can see out in the nether too. There's areas where you've got that glowstone pouring up, and you can grab some of that liquid glowstone right then, that energized glowstone right then, and put it in a bucket, but I didn't. Anyway, so the energized glowstone I need for the lumium gears, and then the enderium I needed that, and I set that up down below. In fact, if we jump down there real quick, earlier today I went ahead and set up my magma crucible and the fluid transposer so that they could handle that. And the fluid transposer for the previous one needed the cryotheum, and for that I needed blizz, which I never had seen. But for the blizz I could also make it using XP and snow, and I've got lots of XP right here. Well, technically that's monster essence, but I can do the same thing here. This is my fluid ore dictionary. I turn it into knowledge, which I can use the arcane source and sorcellator to give me books. And I did something with this, and I don't remember, but that's the way it is. Anyway, let's go back up here and upgrade these systems. So I need 1, 2, and then I want 2 of these augments. Let's go ahead and go ding, dong, and then apply those. All right, so now these are maxed out as far as the augments. There's no way of augmenting or upgrading them further, but I really wanted these guys to be going as fast as possible, because that's where I've been processing my ores and whatnot. And I would like to gather some more so I can do some work. And for that, I need a lot more iron. It's a decent amount of gold, but I definitely need a lot more iron. I've been turning some of it into steel, and I'll be using that. But if I'm going further down the immersive engineering route, or if I want to lay out a lot of tracks, I need lots of iron. So I definitely need to make that happen. And to do that, I was thinking of making this, the core sample drill. Now, immersive engineering, it's pretty much just a lot of iron and steel. These light engineering blocks are pretty easy to make, and I can do that. These scaffolds, they are going to require a lot of steel to make them, and same with the steel fence. It makes steel. Now this core sample drill, you power it up and you go chunk to chunk, and you can see what veins of ore are in that area, and sometimes, a lot of the times, you get nothing. There may be oil, which we can pull up and refine and make into energy, or there may be iron deposits, gold deposits, nickel deposits. There's a whole bunch of different deposits, and to access those, we need this, the excavator, and it's two parts. One is this big wheel that actually spins around and will dig out the ore. And there's no actually, other than this, there's no moving parts, there's no bits being moved, so server-friendly wise, this is pretty nice. And then that wheel is encased in this this chunk here, the chassis, I guess. Lots and lots and lots and lots of blocks, and you know, it's pretty easy. You can see how it's being constructed here. But I do want to sit there and start this processing ore, whatever ore I have in my area. And if we take a quick look, I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've got a 7x7 chunk right here that I've claimed. Yeah, this is just within my claim. And I'm going to check all 49 of these chunks to see what ores are here. And then I want to go ahead and set up the excavator and start pulling that stuff out. Mint chocolate chip ice cream is so tasty. All right, so maybe an hour and a half or so in game, but it's way later in the day because I've been running around with Mrs. the Duck Farmer doing a bunch of stuff. But I do have stuff. Let's take a look. Stuff, all sorts of stuff. In fact, I wanted to set up this little building kind of reminiscent to that one. And so we've got that going on here. I also have the very last... Oh, that's interesting. It's got a little... I don't know if you can notice that little tiny border there when I'm looking at it that shows the chunks. Okay, anyway. Power, you right-click and it drops down this little piece. And after, it's like 20 seconds or so, it will generate a core for me. You right-click again, and there's the core. And I'm going to break these 2 bits. Now, here's the other interesting... I can see the core, or the area that this core came from. I don't know if it's hard to see, but there's a border here going on that shows where it was. Anyway, I have been busy here. As you can see, I've got a 7x7 core sampling of the entire base, and there's a bunch of that's oil. Nothing. Lava, water. What are you? You are a nickel vein. This is a lead vein. There's a uranium. This one's coal, which also provides a little bit of diamond and emerald. You can see there's a little tiny bits of that. Another water. This is a magnetite. So is this, which is mostly iron with a little bit of gold. Iron vein, which is iron and tin and nickel. That's a galena. Where's some of the other ones? Cassiterite. Well, the nice thing is you can just come into the book and it actually explains what they are. Cassiterite, I think, is tin. Cassiterite. Yeah, all tin. Anyway, so this was the one I was just in, and this is the chunk right next to it, the magnetite. And so that's gold and iron. That's exactly what I'm looking to do. It's turning night. And so I'm going to go ahead and explain what I've got here. What I want to do is, this is going to be my processing building. In fact, if we come in, I've got my pulverizer and a furnace here. In fact, I actually built a whole second one because I want these to be dedicated here. And I figured, I built these. I just upgraded them. I don't need to show it. Down below, there's power, and it's powering up from the bottom. The idea is that these item unloaders from Railcraft will suck items that are going back and forth on these hopper carts. This, I have it set for coal. There are some things that you don't want to process through the pulverizer, and so that's coal off the top of my head. I was going, yeah, I don't want to pulverize that here. I want to do other stuff with coal. But everything else will get sucked down by this into a storage chest, then passed into the pulverizer. This, by having these two, and it does automatically eject to the top, which is one of those things I play. Are you not? Why are you not charging? Are you charging? You're not charging either. All right, let's see what's going on here. You should be outputting. That's plenty. That's in. Get a little blower. Okay, so yeah, that power. Why are you not? Ah, that's weird. It was working, and it's out. Funky. All right. Well, let's get my configurator out and turn that to. What happened? Fine. Let's do that. That works. So the push-pull is the absolutely wrong way to do that. Well, okay, you learned something. I always like to set up push-pull on my things just to make sure that I know where stuff is going, and it doesn't work. Very strange. And that's charging up just fine. All right. Anyway, so everything is coming in from the left and ejecting to the top. And I thought I needed a cable to connect these two, but no, I actually tested. It will eject that into there. It didn't look like it would pull in, which is strange, but that's okay. We'll live with that. Repair my floor. All right, so the idea is that this hopper cart will go back and forth, bringing me the results, drop down here, get processed, ground up, and then smelted, and then dropped into the ender chest, which if we come over here, there's an ender chest up there with a pipe that's connecting into the drawer controller. So this should do everything that is regular drawer stuff, and I'll patch that. I wanted to show it, but if for some reason this all backs up, I don't want this to just fill up and then everything else back up. That's bad. So back here I have a comparator coming out of the ender chest, and I'm pretty sure the ender chest will give out a signal as it has stuff. This is the redstone lantern, and you can see it's emitting a charge redstone signal of 12. So when this is 12/15 full, that will go ahead and fire off, and I've got a redstone transmitter that will send out a signal. That's the off signal that I want. And if we come back out here, this rail line is connecting up to here where my excavator is going to be. And I'm using just a regular vanilla chest because as the hopper cart goes underneath, it's got 2 chances to suck out ore, and then it's going to bounce against this and get another 2. So each pass it's going to grab 4 items, and hopefully that's faster than this will mine. Anyway, again, if this backs up and is too full, then the signal will go ahead and turn that off. Again, over here, I'm going to put my power right there. And this is the power setup. If I have less than 10% power in this, I want this to emit a signal here, which is the transmitter, which is hooked up to here, which will turn off my excavator. I want to have power for the rest of my base. I don't want to have my excavator eating up all the power for my system. So that's the plan. Lots and lots of things that will shut things off, because when you're on a server, you want to do that. You want to be nice in shutting things off. Let's go ahead and break that. All right. So I've got in here all the various bits and bobs and stuff and junk and whatnot that I need to make this work. So let's pull this out of the thing. Heavy engineering blocks, light engineering blocks, a redstone block. We got some radiator blocks, some steel sheet metal, a whole bunch of scaffolding, and some blocks of steel. Yeah, I used about 2/3 of my steel doing that, which is, holy cow, that's a lot of steel. Oh, I don't need this block anymore, because that's in place. Now, I've built these excavators before, and I'm going to do the lazy cheat way. I'm going to use the schematic to do it. As you can see, I've already made a schematic for the excavator plus the wheel, and this way I can just get it going. And for speed's sake, I'm going to do what I don't normally do. I'm just going to let this print. Ain't that fast. And it's consuming all the items I have in my inventory to fill this up. Now, if you're in creative, you can do this in such a way... Did I have one extra? I must have one extra radiator block. 1, 2, and right down there, although you can't see it, is another radiator block. Nope. That is a block. I needed that block. There we go. Now it's done. I needed that block to put one of these things against to set it up. Anyway, I'm glad I spotted that. We can turn this off and hide it, and that should be all done. I need my hammer, which I think is in my immersive engineering stuff. There's my engineer's hammer. Fly back up. And if I remember right, I need to smack that block right there. Ta-da! Diggy hole. All right, so... Oh, are you breaking my scaffold that's holding it up in place? It did. Okay, well, it's not going to get braced here. Let's break that. Let's break that. So, we have scaffolding on the other side is what we've got. It's because I didn't want floating blocks here. Ooh, I wonder if... Will you break that? Nope, looks like it won't. Okay, we will anchor these parts. There. That was too close to the spinning bucket wheel to do it. And I think the server tick, we got several people online. That may be what's causing that to bump around. Anyway, this... We're getting the iron and the gold. It said it was like 15% gold, which that's almost exactly the percentage right there. I think this is ready to go. I think it's good to go. Let's give it a go. I need to flip the switch. And if we take a look, it got 5. Ooh. I may need to put another speed rail on there. Looks like, no, actually, it looks like it's going. Maybe another one right there to make it a little bit faster. And it's grabbing enough of these. Let's click. Missed it. There we go. And so it's coming. It's grabbing about 5 as it goes through. I was expecting 4, maybe because it's curving around that's doing it. Huh. In any case, that's grabbing that just nicely. That's getting processed in here really fast. That's getting sucked into here. That's getting sucked into there. We're just going into here and it's gone. That's fun. Okay, we'll close that door. Not raised in a barn. So there we go. Here is an excavator kicking along. And, you know, it's going to be producing a little bit of tick because this multi-block is actually processing stuff. It's not digging anything from this chunk. This is coming out of nothing. But that animation looks really, really weird. Anyway, it's coming from nothing. There's this information about what's in the chunk. And I'm not sure whether that's just something immersive engineering randomly distributes or there was data written into the chunk by immersive engineering. I don't know which. But in any case, this will go ahead and I'm going to mine out this. And if we come down here and look again, there is... break that. There's about 38,000 ores. 85% iron, 15% of gold, and there's also a bunch of lava in there. So there's several of these places I can snag some lava out. So that's the first one I'm going to run because I really, really want lots of iron to build stuff. Particularly if I'm going to have a lot more steel, I would like to have a lot more iron. And this is stone for right now because I don't have a lot of steel, but I want to go ahead and have scaffolding in place. Just like I've got scaffolding here to hold this up, I want to have scaffolding as well. And then this is going to be the base for processing all the ores, and it's going to remain there. But as soon as you know, I'm done with this chunk and I choose another one, say, you know, out where that horse is, I will lay out a rail line over to there. and this will go ahead and do its grindy best to get all the bits I need, and the rail cart will come back here. I will probably need a faster dumping system at that point. I may unload this into a place and use one of the railcraft loaders just because I want it to go faster. And that looks like it's skipping. Yeah. See how it kind of looks like it's glitching from here to there? Okay, and now it's not. I think it's just a visual glitch is all. Yeah, it looks like a visual glitch. Yeah. All right. I think that's pure visual. Anyway, and then if I come in here, you know, everything should have an off switch. Off switch. Oh. This does not have an off switch. I should have an off switch here. Oh. That's why I have that little piece here. It needed to connect to that. And any power on that comes from any of these things will turn this off, because that needs a redstone signal, this block here, and that'll turn it off. I wonder if I apply and I don't have one, if I apply a signal to this block, will that turn it off? I don't know. Let's find out. Hi there, cats. Let's get... I'm going to craft a lever. Never before seen on... I always have it upside down. All right, so there. That's the recipe for a lever. If you've never known, that's how it works. There we go. Always have an off switch for everything. So that way, when I'm in game, it can go ahead and I can turn that on. When I'm not in game, it's not. And this is going to generate for me a whole bunch of ores. I like it. It does mean I'm going to have to upgrade my storage drawers down there, but that's okay. I've got the emeralds to do that, and I can make more emeralds because back there I've got the beet farm and I got the villager that I can trade beets for to get emeralds. That's probably the easiest way to get emeralds at this point for me. I do have some emerald ore and some other collected, but I need to upgrade my gold and my iron storage drawers down there, and eventually all the rest. I like this. It's got rails, it's got pipes, but the pipes are hiding in there. I've got a new dedicated building for processing ores, and then this bad boy here is going to process and process and process, and if I run out of power, which I probably will because that's not sufficient to power all of this, but I've got a large backup, and so when I run out, then I'm okay. It will just hold off until there's sufficient power and kick up again. And that way I don't run out anywhere else. And that's how I like to roll, especially when I'm playing on a server, making sure that things are working well, never overflow stuff, always have shut-off areas, all that good stuff. And I think I've flogged that dead horse plenty with this. Anyway, this has been Grok the DuckFarmer here, having a blast playing a little Rails and Pipes pack on the FTOG server. And thanks for watching. Bye.